Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. I am Paige and my channel is Paperbacks and Lattes, and today you're here to watch my first harem romance book recommendations video. So this video I have been planning for a long time, and I may have to do part 1 and part 2. I'll have to see once I get everything filmed and edited. But I have a lot of reverse harem books that I want to recommend to you guys because I am a reverse harem reader. I like it. In case you do not know what reverse harem is, it is one woman with 3 or more guys in her harem. So we are talking about multiples, and it's always fun with more. I really enjoy reading these type of books. So yeah, my favorite, you'll see a lot of books from one author in this video just because I love her so much. It is Stunnage. I know you've heard me talk about her. She just writes fantastic reverse harem books and stories and all that. So anyway, let's get started. Oh, and I'm wearing my shirt that I made. Coffee, books, and cats. So my absolute favorite, it might even be my favorite book of all time, but I just love the series so much. This is the Rock Hard Beautiful series by Stunnage. This has 3 books in the series, and she is planning on someday writing a 4th book. She is busy with a lot of different series she has on her plate right now that she's writing different books for. But she does plan on writing a 4th book for the series, which I'm so looking forward to. I cannot wait until she writes and releases this 4th book. But for now, there's 3. The first one is Groupie, and this is where you're introduced to Lilith. She is a girl who is, right at the start of the book, she has lost almost everything. She and all her belongings are in her car. She was living with her boyfriend, and she discovered that he was cheating on her. So she moved out. She was going to go move in with her dad because he was sick with cancer. But he died. That's not really a spoiler because the book starts off immediately with it. And so her mother has already died, years before. Now her father has died before she can get the chance to go to him. She has a stepmom, but her stepmom hates her. And she was going to go live with her dad, to help take care of him and be with him in his sick days. But he died before she got the chance to do that. So now she has nowhere to go. All her belongings are in her car. She has these tickets that she had bought for her boyfriend and her to go see this band. And so she says, well, I can get a little cash if I go to the venue to sell them because the concert was taking place that night. She goes to sell the tickets. She sells them, gets some cash from it. And then she just so happens to run into a guy, and he gives her a VIP pass. Like she won the contest. She didn't even know it was. The contest was whoever could find the lead singer of the band, he would give them a VIP pass, tickets, everything. And she just so happened to find him, and she didn't even know who he was. So he gives her this pass. She decides to go in after she finds out that, her dad died and that her stepmother doesn't want her there. So she just goes inside because it starts to rain. And she watches the concert, and then she spends time with all the band members after the show, and she is just grieving. And then she finds out that somebody broke in her car and stole a lot of her stuff, which is like the only thing she had left. And they cut her tires, and they where she can't drive anywhere. So she comes back to the band, or one of the band members finds her, and then she decides to hop on the bus she goes to bed. She goes to bed with the lead singer, Paxton. And then she's just like in such a grievous state of mind. She just kind of goes from one guy to the other in the band. But then they say, well, you can ride with us, because they kind of, you know, get her information from her. They say, you can ride with us to your next, you know, to our next location. And so that's what she does. And then lo and behold, they all find out, you know, they get to know each other, and they say, well, stick with us on the tour, you know, the rest of the tour sites in America. So she does that, and that is the first book, Groupie. There are 5 guys: Paxton, Ransom, Muse, Michael, and Copeland. And I love this book. I love each of the guys. They all have like very different personalities. And the reason that they really connect with her is because they're all from a very broken and dark past. They have all experienced loss. They have experienced these traumatic things that have happened in their lives. And so they really connect with Lilith, and she connects with them too. So that is what happens in the first book. The second book is Rhodey. It just continues on with her going on tour with them. And then the third book is Moxie, and that's where like the last leg of the tour. All 3 books are like on one tour. And then when they get home, and then I love the series so much. And I probably have spent way too much time talking about this, but it is my favorite. I had to tell you all about it. Definitely go read it. The second series I want to briefly mention is the 7 Mates of Zara Wolfe. I'm not sure if it's Zara or Zara, but the 7 Mates of Zara Wolfe by C.M. Stunnage. This is her like Wolfe series where, well, they're not Wolfe, they're like Wolfe shifters. And the girl is Zara, and she is in this world of wolf shifters. The women are like the leaders, and then they have like their mates, and I think usually it's only one mate, or she's going to be like, her mother is like the head leader who leads the whole pack. And there's actually like 7 different packs, and she is going to be stepping in when her mother is done. So she is supposed to be picking out her mate, and they have a guy from all different each 7 packs to try to see like who her mate is, but she ends up falling for all of them, and she refuses to let any of them go. So each book is about, and they're also battling like witches and other magical creatures, I think vampires. So it's a really interesting series. There's only, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 4 books that she has written for this series, but she does plan to finish the series. So it's still a really interesting, it's like a fantasy paranormal reverse harem series. The third series is The Rich Boys of Burberry Prep by C.M. Stunnage. This is about the girl name is Marnie, and she gets like this scholarship to go to this private school, like boarding school, and she goes there, and this group of guys, Tristan, Zaid, Creed, Zach, and then later on Windsor. So but the Tristan, Zaid, Creed, and Zach, they all treat her like crap. So this is a bully romance. It's a bully high school romance, and it is really hard to they do some pretty awful things to her that I don't think that they quite redeem themselves from, because just in my opinion, but it's still a pretty good series. The first book is Filthy Rich Boys. The second one is Bad Bad Blue Bloods. The third one is The Envy of Idols, and the fourth one is In the Arms of the Elite. And Windsor. He's like a guy that comes into her harem later on, and he's like from England, and I think he's actually like a prince or something. He's some kind of wealthy family. And he is so sweet to her, and he bullies her bullies because, you know, he doesn't believe in bullying. So he's definitely my favorite character, other than Marnie herself. So it was still a good, fun, entertaining series to read. And then the fourth series is the Havoc Boys by C.M. Stunnage. I actually just finished the last book in this series because it just released on November 30th. So it is a complete series, so now you can go binge read it if you want. The first one is called Havoc at Prescott High. This centers around Bernadette. She is going to high school, and she has been bullied by this group of guys, which she used to date one of the guys in, you know, well, Havoc is their gang. So she used to date one of the guys, but now she needs Havoc's help. And in the past, Havoc has bullied her because somebody asked them to. And when somebody calls out for Havoc, they pay their price, and then Havoc does whatever they want them to do. So Havoc bullied her because somebody paid for them, you know, to do that. It is later known that what they did to her was not as bad as they could have done, and they pushed her away because they wanted better for her. They didn't want her to like stoop to their level. They wanted, you know, better. So it was also them pushing her away, which made sense. But they live in a very low privilege place, and all of them have had very tragic lives. There is so many triggers in these books, so if you have triggers, you know, you may want to read about the different triggers for the series, but they all are dealing with things, and she calls Havoc's help because she has a list of people that she wants like to retaliate against for hurting her, for hurting her family. So there is 5 books in the series: Havoc at Prescott High, Chaos at Prescott High, Mayhem at Prescott High, Anarchy at Prescott High, and Victory at Prescott High. So it is now a finished series. I finished it and it was really good. So if you like that sort of book, I recommend you picking up. And then we continue on with another series by C.M. Stunnage. This is her Harem of Hearts series. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. This is like a fairy tale retelling of Alice in Wonderland, but it's a reverse harem. It was so good. So this girl, her name is Allison, and she gets pulled into this world of Underland instead of Wonderland. It's Underland because she discovers this world. All the themes like that's in Alice in Wonderland, the original story, is in there. Like there's a whole world of, or there's like a whole city of like tea and teapots, and it is, I love the world. The world is so fantastical. You have just so many features of little, you know, elements from the Alice in Wonderland story in this book, and it is really, really good. But she first, when she goes into Underland, she meets I did not write down their names, so I cannot remember everybody's names, but she pretty much met like the they're like 2 angels type of figure because they have wings, and that they're like brothers, and their names are T and D. And then of course there's like the Mad Hatter, there's the Cheshire Cat, there's, I did not write them all down, but I think there's like 9 of them in total. So there's like characters from the original Alice in Wonderland story, but they're like guys, and so it's a really interesting, fun read. I really enjoyed reading this series. The next book is a standalone book by C.M. Stunnage. This is Devil's Day Party. This is about Karma, and she is a girl going to this school. I think she also has a scholarship to this school, and she is being bullied by these guys, and then she like crashes her car, and when she wakes up the next day, her day is like the same as it was the previous day. It's kind of like, this is like a reverse harem bully romance slash Groundhog Day type of story. Her day just keeps repeating over and over, and so she has to try to figure out, you know, she tries like all these different things. Every day she's going through the same thing, but she changes it up each day. And then finally she figures out, like, am I gonna have to live like this the rest of my life, reliving this same day over and over and over? And so she's trying to find out how to, you know, what she has to do, what she has to learn to stop this from happening. And there is a very traumatic scene at the end, which I wasn't a total fan of. It was an attempted suicide. So if you have a trigger on that, I just want to let you know. I don't mean to hand out spoilers, but that is a very important trigger for people to be, you know of. So know that. But it was still a pretty good standalone novel. Now I am changing authors. The next series is the Sainthood Boys of Lowell High. The Sainthood Boys of Lowell High by Sahoban Davis. So this has 3 books in the series. They're all out. They're completed. It's a completed series. This is about Harlow. She is the girl in the series. And this is also another like bully romance. There are 4 guys: Saint, Galen, Kaz, and Theo. And they over the 3 books, they're in like, the boys are in a gang, but they're like in the junior level of it, because the main guy, Saint, his dad is like the president over the whole, I guess president's the right word, leader or whatever, over this whole gang. And it's a very notorious, dangerous gang. And they are trying to protect her from this gang. So over the course of the 3 books, you'll see them, it's very action-packed. You'll see them trying to survive these situations and just, you know, trying to save her from, you know, all these dangerous things that this gang is trying to do to her. So it was very interesting, very entertaining, and I recommend it.